Pasha Riyeh, says the Rebbe even more to indicate that Riyeh has got to do with the Avodas Ha'odom no matter l'mayla. He said, Asiyam shel Pasha Riyeh oisa b'dinei Chag HaSukkot. Yeah, the last thing that's written in the Pasha Riyeh is all the Chagim, all the Yom Tov. So he said the last thing that's mentioned is the Inyan from Sukkot. The Sukkot, k'may kol chodshei ha'chorev, yesh shayach davke l'aveda milmata l'mayla. He said, one on that Tishrei, particularly after Tishrei's gone a bit into its month, it becomes sharp to the winter. It's already sharp to the chodshei ha'chorev, and Sukkot is one on, is sharp to the chorev. What's the connection between Sukkot and the winter?
Yes, sir. It's a good answer, Mordechai.
That the Torah brings it down. The Torah says that the whole summer people are going out of their houses into their gardens and they're sitting in all sorts of duvets, similar to what we call a sukkah. And what do you do when the winter's beginning, when it's already the change of the whole thing? Then everybody's going back into their houses and we go out into the sukkah. There's a simon that the sukkah has got to do with the winter. The whole inyan from the sukkah is indicatory of the koach of Yidden to do hafuk me'ha ha'olim. The famous thing. Of America, from that we see that the inyan of sukkah dafki got to do with choyrim. Dafki shot to the winter. And the winter is dafki milmata l'mayla. Elohim Cain, Pasha Riyeh, carries in it. So at the end, a reference to milmata l'mayla. Azim Cain, Shuv Nishalas HaShayla. It asks itself again the question, Keitzam ניתן Kasha, Pasha Riyeh, Ima Aveda Milmayla l'mata. Ein Nachanami. We find indications that's got a connection. But what really is the connection? Riyeh all seems to be Milmayla, and Milmata l'mayla seems to be another inyan altogether. What is it in effect? So, you're going to keep your hats on, because here we move to a really new view of the whole thing, a new concept altogether. Kedei lahovin zois, says the Rebbe Natim Ketzorah, we'll make a very brief introduction. Sha'avida yahamushlemet b'choydeshelu hi loi milmata l'mayla v'loi l'heva. He says that the perfect or fully realized avodah of choydeshelu is not really milmata l'mayla and not milmayla l'mata, but something like a combination and an infusion of both of them together. And that leads to a whole new concept in Avodas Hashem, a whole new way of viewing the whole situation. So he says, that the real inyan of choydeshelu is expressed through the joining together both of milmata l'mayla and milmayla l'mata. So he said, Nekuda zu huvara archova basika al pashaika. Towards the end of last week's, we mentioned that briefly, that was the arm of perfection of Elul, and that makes anila doidi v'doidi li, which means that both of them are joined together. Having you join both things together only through something higher than that. But now he's going to go into it in a bit more detail. And he's going to say that how does that affect the Odom? The fact that we join together, milmata l'mayla and milmayla l'mata, and we need a very high power to do that, what does that mean, l'gavi domain? So he said, Kalima, b'avodas Hashem milmata l'mayla, yesh no yisrael. Let's take the mayla that there is in each way. Milmata l'mayla and milmayla l'mata. Each one's got a certain basic, what you might call Maila or Yisrael in it. So he said in Avodas Hashem milmata l'mayla, Yeshna Yisrael שזה מגיע מצד האדם האויב. אין החנמי, it's a certain basic kawana that comes from the man. Yeah, that he's doing the avodah. However, says the Rebbe, our avodah is mugbele. But lochin kama toitoed, yeah, he mugbele. Now, why is that avodah mugbele? Why is it limited? Because the mensch, with all his milas, is limited. No matter how perfect a mensch would want to be, well, that's ultimately a limited perfection. He's a creation in the world. He's got a limitation. So therefore, it reaches Isarusa de Le'ela, but that's Isarusa de Le'ela that's got a connection with the world. And therefore, he reaches a higher level, but it's got a connection with the limitations of the created world. Yeah? Right? Makes sense? So that's what he says. Even the Teitzua, which is the Isarusa de Le'ela, is also Mukbel. Be'ezer Hashem, no Maila Lamata, when we're talking about the Vina system, no Maila Lamata, there's a Yitzring, that means a Maila, there's a Maila Bekak, Shazer Lamaila Mi Adbaras Ha'odom. Since it's coming from Hashem, then it's beyond human limitation. Amal, he said, Zeh bo loloi hashkoah. He said it's coming basically, through no investment on the part of the order. And that's what the Gemara calls a matnas chinam. And they call it, it's like a unearned gift. That's what the Yerushalmi calls Nahamadik Seifo. And they call it bread of shame. So he said that's a matnas chinam. Ha'uda hanidressasi azim kain la'avodas Hashem b'koyach ha'odom no matter l'mayla ani l'doidi אבל באיום כזה שזה יהיה למעלה מהגבולה. אם כן, the Rebbe says each one's got its mila, but each one's got its drawback. So he said, what is really what we need then? What are we really looking for? So he said that you have to serve the Eibishter but in a way that is really beyond limitation. You lose the human aspect and you become what you might call an inhuman you become an inhuman machine. You become beyond limitation. Now this is the classical Torah of the Lubavitcher. This is the Rebbe Mami's book all the years that the Rebbe wanted to lift the world beyond limitation. And you notice that all the secret always getting out of limitation, not reckoning, don't worry, just go ahead. Everything is beyond limitation. So the Rebbe said in order to get over that border, you've got to be clear border. You've got to start off like the Eibishter. You got to be completely l'mayla memid. Our boyfriend says, שזה יהיה למעלה מכל הגבלות. And where are we? והתצועה תהיה בהתאם. הדובר יאף מרומז במילים בדוידי לי. So he said, you're going to bring down, the tetzua means the result. You're going to bring down doidi li also in a way that's no longer limited with any sort of plan on the part of the Hebrew. It's also going to be completely and utterly unlimited. And the Rebbe says a very amazing thing that's gone on, the word li, the doidi li. Now here's a chiddush dover, because the word li is referring really to the men. But there's a medrash which says that wherever it's written the word li, ein lezeh hefsek li'olam. It never has any interruption forever. And normally that means when the Eibishter says about himself, li, and he's talking about himself, that means there's no hefsek, li'ever. So the Rebbe says, since it's written here the word li, then that fits that in, even though it's talking about the men. And what it means is that the Eibishter will give you his li. He will give you his li. And his li is Eino Hefsek Li'elam, that will fit into your li. In other words, that you will go beyond limitations altogether, and you will get a doidi li in the way that he's li, and that li will link into your li. Ein ohefsek li'olam l'mayla mikol ha'olamas l'mayla mimedidak b'olam k'divrei chachmeinu shekol mokim shenema li ein ozos li'olam, never moves. It's had it called nitchias she'eina mugbalat, has no absolute eternity, that has no limitation whatsoever. Oh, so the Rebbe said, Zehu Aveda Anidrosha B'Chodesh Shalom. That's the Aveda that we're looking for in Chodesh Shalom, that you have to elevate yourself beyond limitation altogether. Yeah, your Ani Ladoidi has become unreal. It's going to lift up no longer any limitations. I hang him to that. So he says, everybody's got a Yechida Shebenefet. And that's what it says on Nehi, Noisein Lifneichem. And how do we tie it? The aim is to give first into the Pnimiyah. And then he wears a better thing. So first he gives a bracha into your Yechida. And so you become like Hadikot, Superman. Yes, no, not Superman, what was his name? Popeye the Sailor, you know, he's like, take a tin of spinach from Hadil, he'd take a tin of spinach from Nunnywood. Yeah. So what happens is the Eberstein gives into your Yechida, yeah, the Eberstein gives a bracha, he gives it away, you can actually see the result. So what happens to you is you also, you become
Caravel.
And he goes beyond limitation, you become Superman.
Caravel. Caravel.
Oh, as they say it, up and away. Oh, Mela, Lafi says there's another way to altogether. He said, Kedei she'yeh ניתן לבצע זאת באמת, צריך האדם להגיע למצב גבוה מאוד. He said it means a man has to reach a very high level. Yeah, so he said, and therefore we read Pasha Riyeh before, he raised all these different blessings and all these, like we said, Lifneichem particularly, Lifnei Hayom means very good, everlastingness, and Lifneichem means into your Pnimius, into your Yechidah Shebenefesh, and you become very good. Yeah, you become shy too completely beyond limitation altogether. So he said, those are the words, yeah, of a Parashat Mavhira L'Odom, I'm sorry, Rogan Koyim is Parashat Riyeh, Lifnei Chodesh Shalom, Ka'achona L'Aveda Zu, not to get to such a level. Yeah, but Parashat Mavhira L'Odom Riyeh, yeah, Tafnim, the Taklit Riyeh, Tireh, in a way that you're really going to make it your Pnimiyat. And he says, Sha'anoichi noisem lifneichem hayoy. Yeah, Daga da'anoichi atmos haboyle. Anoichi, mami, yeah, nitenem noisem nitnat is given, yeah, v'choderes b'kol Yehudi lifneichem hayom into his Pnimiyat. But remember, that's why we read Parashat Riyeh to get the etiquette, you know, the spiritual spinach. Yeah, well, that goes in, yeah, and then the hadikot touches the pneumias, and so then a yid is completely something else. So I couldn't help thinking of myself today. I was almost saying to myself last night after the shir, I got to myself, wow, at this time of the year I'm really sort of tired, I'm sort of a bit worn out, you know. And it's coming up, Phil, yeah, what am I can't do around here? I could, all of a sudden I look up what seeker we get. The Duke I opened with that page with the Yechida and Noise and Lifnei, or something. You just got to, you couldn't make yourself open to it. And Hashem is ready to give you everything. He'll give you all of it. And then you will make. And that's with that we understand the story. By the way, There's a famous story that's brought down in stories when I get to the Alter Rebbe's passing on Kostal Tavis in the Goyish village, inside the house. It was a Motzei Shabbat, and the Alter Rebbe made Havdalah on coffee, another story. Yeah. And he made Havdalah before marriage. First of all, he made Havdalah, and then he told marriage. The whole thing. Because the Alter Rebbe brings down in Shulchan Aruch that he holds that Havdalah is Menateh, Midoraisa. And marriage is only Midorabanan. And he could feel that maybe there's not so much time. So he wanted first to get in the Raisa and then the Dorabanan. Yeah, oh, amazing story. Well, anyway, the Tzemach Tzedek was there with him. The Mitzvah Rebbe wasn't there at the time. Only other members of the family, the Rebbe Tzemach, but the Tzemach Tzedek was there. So all of a sudden the Alter Rebbe, straight after Marav, he turns to the Tzemach Tzedek and he says, Kum na Mendel, he said, come to me, Mendel. The Tzemach Tzedek was already a young boy at that time. You can't say that about a Rebbe, but so he says, I want to reveal to you a new way in Avodas Chassidus. A new way, something new altogether, working with a Chassidus. So you know what the Tzemach Tzedek answered? He said, Zayda, he said, I'm so busy with the old way that I haven't really got moving in the old way yet. So he said, what I'm going to do is a new way. So the Alter Rebbe said, in Cain, we didn't do any business. And afterwards, the Tzemach Tzedek told the Mitzvah Rebbe about what happened. And he said, I was a big fool. He called it a word, meaning a fool. He said, I was a tremendous fool. Because if I would have taken what the Alter Rebbe said with me, then I would have been able later to work with that. I would have got a Nasina Square from him for telling me that. And then with that Nasina Square, who knows how far I could have gone. And he said, therefore, I'm tremendously mitcharet that I answered that way. And just by the way, I want to tell you one more thing. As a very, what's the time, by the way? It's hard for me to turn around. Oh. Tell you an absolutely mind-boggling thing. The Tzemach Tzedek, it appears they had a minyan. It appears there were enough males to make up a minyan. People that would join the Shayara. So the Tzemach Tzedek, he was the one who led the minyan for Mari. Because it was a very difficult situation, and the Alter Rebbe didn't feel well and the whole thing. He done with a marshal to get in, how do you call that? Not afraid of Nick. So the Alter Rebbe didn't want to interrupt you. When it had finished, the Alter Rebbe said to him, Mendel, he said, you didn't do good. He said, you must have an only with afraid of him. Only with afraid of him. And he said, according to how you show here Lamata, that's the way they look at your Lamata. And he learned, he said, I heard from my Reverend, and he met the Maggid, that the Maggid set up Pshat. That's an absolutely amazing Pshat. And that's like this. He says, the Yecheskel saw the chariot, and then he said, Lamaila mi'achayas, there's a how do you call it, a tzura sort of ma'ale odom of no ma'ale. That the Avis is like a ma'ale odom. So everybody says, how can you say the Avis is a ma'ale odom? That's not nice. So the Kabbalists, they answer, that's referring to the spheres. And the spheres are like ma'ale odom, so that's what he means by ma'ale odom. So the Alter Rebbe touched an absolutely mind-boggling thing. The Alter Rebbe said the Eibishter is Kemara Odom. He said the Eibishter is the way you are, that's the way the Eibishter. Mara Odom, that the way the Odom shows himself, that's the way the Eibishter. I don't know what to do with you guys. And everybody's supposed to fall on his chair. You realize what that is? It means that the Eibishter looks the way you look. Kemar Odom is referring to the Eibishter. He looks the way you look. According to the appearance of the men, that's how the Eibishter is. Oh, Mela, he said, if you show not happy face, or you show not happy niggin, or something like that, yeah, he said, then the Eibishter also takes on that shape, and that's the way you get it. You get it not frailer than that. I say at the altar of his after the marriage, just a short while before he passed away.
At this time,
yeah.
At this time, was the Alter Rebbe still on the run from Napoleon?
Yeah. They were running away from Napoleon. Yeah, they were fleeing from Napoleon. And you should realize that it appears that the Alter Rebbe gave away his neshama from this world in order to be mevatel the whole thing of France and Napoleon. That's what it is. Yeah. That the Alter Rebbe saw the threat to the whole world that was in Napoleon and France, that they were spreading throughout the world. And that's why he won again. He was with the town, he was against Napoleon terribly. You know the whole story. So it appears that they said to the Alter Rebbe, Momaila, that there's got to be some sacrifice. That if we're going to be mevatel, this whole Napoleonic spread and this whole union with France, we've got to have somebody or something that's got to happen. So the Alter Rebbe willingly made himself that particular, I say, state, so it's a very profound thing. This is not the place to come. It's maybe Kotel Taylor's, or it's the time to talk about it. It's a very, very amazing and profound thing. Before that happened, because you know the Alter Rebbe wasn't terribly sick. He had a chill, he caught a chill from the snow. And he also suffered from sugar, the Alter Rebbe. He suffered from diabetes, a little bit, not a huge amount. And in those days, they used to call diabetes Honig Krankheit, honey sickness. Yeah, that's what they used to call it. And the Alter Rebbe had it, he had some. And he was feeling weak because of that also. The chill that he got made that worse than what it should have been. But nobody really expected that he was going to pass away. And just a couple hours after, he said that to the Tzemach. But it appears there's a lot of indications, and we need to talk about it sometimes, not the time now, that indicate that the Alter Rebbe was prepared from a certain level to get rid of France and Napoleon, to stop them. Yeah. Ain't kind of one from a hurry was out there. It's pretty pliers, the whole thing. That's mine. And the things that happened prior to the Alter Rebbe's passing, this is just one of them, what I told you now. And you should realize that certain Zohar Kodesh, it's written in the Zohar in Pasha Tzitzaveh, Shmoyt. It's written also that if you don't smile and you don't look happy, then all the angels in the upper world they all change their faces and they look down. And even if they get good ashpah, no matter, or since they're not in a good mood, the angels, they send it down any old way. Now, so it says from that that you must always look happy. You must never be what's called in Yiddish a morshkoyerniker. You know what a morshkoyerniker is? You must be morshkoyer anytime. Over here, the Alter Rebbe tied that B'Shem HaMagid into the pasuk in Yechezkel, and that's just mind-boggling. that the Eibster looks like a man. He looks according to the way you look. David? Yeah. This man is unbelievable. Yeah? What is that? Philip Roth. You say you can love her now, then you must always... It's so good. Because the angels get upset. Until it reaches the bed in Shemayla, the Abish himself takes on that tour. And that the Alter Rebbe said, he said, even though he knew what was happening, the Alter Rebbe knew. He only had a couple of hours left. We had not. And that's why he said to the Tzom, but he said to the Tzom, he didn't do good that you sang a little bit sad, you understand? In the Nigger tomorrow, he said, devil told you, who is this to you? That's why the Rebbe, you never see the Rebbe move.
אבל הניגונים של חב"ד לפני רבי היו כולם לא כל שמחים.
What was this?
He said the nigunim from that time weren't so sameach.
Was when then everybody sameach?
לא, הניגונים מרשב, לא כל כך.
Oh, I don't know. There's different ways of phrasing, you know, it's not necessarily, there's different ways. But the Baal Shem Tov was brought down. And I saw the other day in my Sefer that Shabbat Shem Tov Sona Ma'id is a Shkoirim. As they say, Sona Ma'id is a Shkoirim. Black ones, I thought it was over the Shkoirim. Also, I noticed a little asterisk on the side of the word Shkoirim. Right down the bottom, it said, Hainu Elishim Misnagim B'mor Shkora. The Baal Shem didn't like him. But after you chikotam, and he even said, keep away from me, don't hang around me. It's the whole end of the Baal Shem Tov is simple. And go for it. And I heard from Rav Landavy, you talk about the Rebbe Rashab, that the Rebbe Rashab was empty, but it was always positive, it was never in a negative way. You know? And the Rebbe Rashab never complained or said anything, you know, in the form of he was just so weird because he was so much into Kedusha, but he was always very only positive. Yeah, very impressed. And I just want to tell you that the first Rosh Hashanah I was by the Rebbe. I think I might have told you this. First Rosh Hashanah that I was by the Rebbe, the second day, in the late afternoon, running into the evening, the Rebbe used to make a suda. And everybody had to wash. People stood in line for hours to wash, and everybody had to wash for bread. And the Rebbe said a maimon, and then he said a brief tzita or two after the maimon said, and that was the whole program. Well, before the Rebbe said the maimon, they used to sing nigunim. And a bit later, they would sing all the nigunim of the Rebbeim. Now it's not sure. The Rebbe looked, it just, you know, it's almost frightening to see how the Rebbe looked. And when he started the maimon, it was a long maimon. Even the Rebbe, they used to say short maimon, but on Rosh Hashanah it was a long maimon. And then the Rebbe benched, and then began Kosher Bracha. A completely different world. I mean, mamish, min ha-katzeh el ha-katzeh. Min ha-heipach el ha-heipach. the Rebbe was tremendously more similar in such. He was carrying out, the cross or whatever, now they put the cross down. More liberty and more. And all the Bochum were dancing and jumping up, and all the other people and they didn't know what to do anymore, how to dance anymore. They were all doing the mash, they're jumping up and down like a crazy. And the Rebbe was going, it's not enough, After that, Oyendika, matter, all of a sudden changed. So you see that it's not a contradiction one to the other. It's just another way of expressing eloquence. And at that moment there has to be the human, and then that has to come out into Avkia, Achayz and Asim. You follow? Thank you, my gentlemen. But it's amazing. And just before I got to, I had a whole nest, I think I told you. I had 2 cups. And everybody had more than 2, and the Rebbe never said a word. I had 2 cups, and all of a sudden the Rebbe pointed at one of the cups like that with his finger, and he said, for who is this second one? There was a whole story. I took it for Rav Diskin, he was an Alter Yid in Lud. He had the most amazing story in Russia and everything. That's too much. I'm running out of curves in my throat. I can't tell the whole story now. But he'd been in hospital and he'd had an operation on his eye. He didn't see. He was came out blind. And he went in a couple of days before Rosh Hashanah and had the operation, which means that he was going to be over Rosh Hashanah in the hospital. That's what everybody assumed. So I get close to the Rebbe, and all of a sudden the Rebbe says, who is this? The second couple. I almost collapsed. They never asked anybody, all of a sudden he asked people else. So I muttered to the Rebbe in a call, I said, this is for Yaakov Diskin. So it's mamish anes. You hear what the Rebbe said? The Rebbe said, the Rebbe said, he had gemacht an operatie auf die Augen. He made an operation on his eye. And the Rebbe said, over Duxit mirrors in the Heim. The Rebbe said, it appears to me that he's home. As far as I knew, he wasn't home. I didn't want to say anything. I just, and then it was said, L'chaim, then he gave me L'chaim on my clothes. And then I walked away. So here I am with the fact that he said that he appears to him that he's he's at home. So listen what happened. On Tzom Gedalia, I put through a phone call to his Rebbe. She was the aim abide of the whole yeshiva. And she was the most wonderful woman. In those days, she used to care about the Bochum. Look after them. It was an amazing thing. She was the most amazing person. As I called her up, I said, the Rebbe said to me that that your husband was at home. And so she almost fainted on the phone. So I said, what is wrong? She said, my husband was home for Rosh Hashanah. So I said, how did that happen? So she said, even though he was covered with bandages and he couldn't see and he was blind, he said to them he doesn't want to be here for Rosh Hashanah in the hospital. Shumai doesn't want to be here. So in the end, they held a meeting of the doctors, and they said he can go out a short hour before Rosh Hashanah comes in, and immediately after Rosh Hashanah, he must come back to the hospital. Although for Rosh Hashanah, he was home. Which means that when I got that kosher, he was either still home or he was just leaving and said to go back to the hospital.
8 hours difference.
The Rebbe said to me, "Duk zit meer as in the Heim." The Rebbe said, "It appears to me that he's at home." How did the Rebbe know that? I didn't know, for sure. I thought the other way. And the Rebbe said, "No good." Ruach HaKodesh. Oh yeah.
Is it?
Re'eh.
We were supposed to go back to the hospital.
What?
That was kosher bracha
Hours difference.
after all the it's not a contradiction. But one leads into the other.
Chaim.
But just before I got alongside the river, he put down the coast and he looked at all the I could see the river, I could see his arms and everything shaking. All the pocket and the liners are all jumping up and down. And the river said, "Look at them, what's this?" There's nothing. I'm telling you, Ashrei Yayim Rosa says, I thank Hashem every day that my eyes saw these. I actually saw Ray. So I'm just going to tell you one report. What's the time now? What time? I told him about Port Hotel. Chaim.
Chaim Roch.
So there's a very fascinating Rashi in last week's Parashat. Rashi says that Moshe Rabbeinu, when he went up onto the mountain the second time, the third time, Hashem said to him that he should make a Aron 8. So Rashi said, Aron 8. So he made the Aron in the Mishkan. It was made out of gold and everything. Aron 8 is much more simple. So Rashi learned that there were two Arons. There was the orange also, the tzahon, and then there was this other orange, Parashat orange, that Moshe Rabbeinu made specially to go into Lukas Shneir. Rashi brings down in the footage that there was two orange. There's a Parashat, the orange one. So what happened? Moshe Rabbeinu broke the first Lukas. So what they do with the broken ruchas? The broken ruchas they kept in that Parashat. According to this opinion in Rashi, they kept the broken ruchas in the Parashat, and the new ruchas they put into the orange also b'tzam. Now Rashi said like this: when they made war. When they went out to war, they used to take the broken oran with them. I'm sorry, the Parashat oran, the ordinary oran, with the broken ruchas. They used to go out to Milchama. Look it up in Russian, last week's Parashat. And he said, Pamachas, I said, right, that they took out the golden oran here from the British Akadoshim, they took that out to the war. Palmachas Yeah, Yotzim Muhammad in Orange also, but Venishba, and it was captured, you know, the Philistines. The Philistines captured another one. So Rashi said that was because they took out the beautiful orange. That's not meant to go out to war. They were not caught, but captured. So I heard from a very great Siddish person, and he said to me, Pshat, what is this orange, a simple orange, that they kept a broken luchas? That's against certain, even against, it's a sifri, but the Gemara holds differently. The Gemara holds that the big orange had both the new luchas and the broken luchas. But Rashi learned there was this special simple orange, made out of simple wood, and that carried the broken wood. And whenever they went to war, they took the broken wood from the simple, and then never got captured. But one time they took the beautiful orange out to war, and he got captured. Sure.
Got captured.
So I heard that the pshat is that the simple orange, simple wooden orange, that's Lubavitch.
What?
Lubavitch.
That's Lubavitch. That's Lubavitch. Simple, that's not, no, no sticker and all that. Simple.
No silver on your tellus.
That's Lubavitch. What's good for Shneim? Broken wood.
No,
Not whole.
the name is broken.
Broken. A chassid, his name, he's not complete. He doesn't have beautiful, he's got broken. In other words, he's got a leiv nishba. He's got a broken heart. But if you want to make war, and you want to win the war, then he's got to go out to war. The broken is inside a positive order. They go and they win the war. If you take out the beautiful, you can't be sure what might happen. Adkan, I heard a pshat that he called and your cousin used to say, the Parashat. I heard that pshat. And I've never forgotten it. It's stuck in my mind. The buried, the simple, that's Russian. The Ramban does not know way. The Ramban says no. He said it was only one on the one to one, the top. And he's still referring to the one. Well, Rashi learns there were two already. Rashi learned there were mamish two arenas, and each one has a different function. Not everybody agrees with it. That's Rashi. Yeah, Chayim. We got what to do. And simplicity is not a chisaron. On the contrary, simplicity is a kli to Atra. It's a kli to the essence. Shoot. If you ever saw the way the Rebbe used to come into a breaking the way, he would walk to his place and sit down. You could see the unbelievable kingliness, but you could see simplicity, you know. Pushed it. It was just so moving, but it was pushed. And that's the ornament made out of the simple one.
Yes. Go.
Good, okay guys.
Okay.
Oh.
Er hat schon gerückte Säge.
Nein, ist reingekommen.
Das ist ein gerückte
Weil
Säge.
will übernehmen die ganze Fabrik.
Ja.
Will
Nein, er gerät sich auf den Winter, die gerückte Säge.
I feel like I'm back in Poland.
gebracht ein bisschen verweisen dort.
Alles passiert.
We don't recognize them.
No.
Not a lot more kidding. I don't know kidding.
זהו וודקה.
bisschen schwacher. Alles ist passiert.
Xime. They will make all the red, ones kill off all the white ones or vice versa. I don't.
So I should say invitation for Bakasha next Thursday, next Yom Kamishi, whole week, yeah. The Chasana on if you're from Hungary, so you use a tsere with the hay, so it's high elo. The Hungarian, they tell me. Hi. Yeah.
I got it.
Hey yellow. But the Hungarian Yidden put a tsere in it and they make it high. Not high.
Polish don't say hey, they say hi.
So we have a shear there.
So that's higher.
There's Rat Hashem in Yerushalayim. But yeah, everybody's invited.
On the way.
I saw you on TV a number of times. With Rav Gafni. I saw you. I tuned in when it was tunable. Baruch Hashem, Shikor. And I was in Poland.
He wrote that we should come to the Chasna on Nanishmaya and leave on Nanishmaya directly. That he got one-way ticket to Beis Hamikdash Shlish.
Amen. With the binyan adayad. Chayim. Well, a funny thing happened to some of the invitations, but everybody, not email. I was on my way to the garbage bin, and I threw away the invitations, and I kept the garbage. So no, only some of them. So if you didn't get one,
Look in the garbage.
I went to throw away the garbage today before coming, and I had invitations and garbage, and I threw away the invitations, and I kept the.
Get in there.
Next time you throw away the garbage and the limitations.
Garbage is a synonym.
And the limitations. My limitations.
How do families take that? Okay?
Thanks, God. So
If you throw away the limitation, then the garbage will just dissolve. It won't be there.
I had, Tisha B'Av, I was in Krakow. Tisha B'Av, I was in Krakow. And
By the Ramon?
I was by the Ramah. I have a story about Nigunim from the Tamanim. They have a Masorah from the first base of Migdash.
Oh yeah.
And this person, you probably know him. He sang the nigun for the Rebbe.
Oh, yes.
Until Rabbi Grona kind of like pulled him out of there. I have the story on tape. Yep. And then Yudav, I went to Auschwitz in the afternoon. Shabbos, yeah.
You went to Auschwitz.
In the afternoon. Said half the
Rabbi Yochanan in the Gemara, Rabbi Yochanan says that if he would have had pulled, he would have made Tisha B'Av on Yud. Yeah.
As well.
That's what he says in the Gemara.
Also,
He would have made
two days.
Tisha B'Av on Yud.
2 days.
No, one day.
Just
One day.
Just-
Yud instead of Tes.
Yes, because that was the
And the Gemara says he's right for Chana, because the actual Shreifa of the Hegel took place on Yud.
1, 2 years, yeah.
But the Gemara says that's Chalta, the Puranutza kosher. At the beginning, when it first starts, that's when it's the hardest of all. So it began on Tisha B'Av. By Yud, Kavyahu, people were already used to it. So, one in front. At least they do one.
That's like Yud
But
Tevis
Yud
also.
was the actual day that the Hegel was born. And therefore Rabbi Yochanan said, if he would have been there, he would have made it on Yud. So you went on Yud to Auschwitz.
And then I had amazing Hashgacha protest on the way back. So there was a group from Manhattan, and they had like a bus with leather seats, you know, a very plush bus, and I got a ride back to Krakow. And I asked them, like, could I walk from the Sheraton Hotel to the Jewish quarter? The guy said, yeah, it's that way. So I'm used to walking around the Jewish quarter. Everything is close, relatively. And I'm in my kapota and my bed slippers, my slippers. And they have these huge churches. Churches. They have these mamish in this area, and I'm walking through, and there's
The Jewish area?
no in the
Or the other?
yeah. I felt like a Jew, like back in the time that, you know, walking through the whole road on Yud Av. And
Yeah, they say about a certain person. Oh. You know, I told you about the Vishyatana that he lived in Tel Aviv. Nobody could figure why did he live in Tel Aviv. In those days, Tel Aviv was a friar store. Why did he live in Tel Aviv? So one of the people who was very close to him said after his historicus that he understood from him of something that he once said to him, that why didn't he live in Yerushalayim? Because he couldn't take the sound of the bells. They ring bells.
right.
And he couldn't take it, but in Tel Aviv there was no bell.
Oh, wow.
And that day was the 15th of August. It was a big Goyish holiday. That's why I didn't have to work on Monday, because it was everything is closed except the toilet. Everything it was. And here I am walking with my kapata and my bed slippers. And you know how I walk anyway.
It's good.
I wasn't scared.
This,
Yud Tisha B'Av.
and I had a mazel from a Yid in Petach Tikva that he knew the Chofetz Chaim. He actually saw the Chofetz Chaim. So the Chofetz Chaim, for years they had a little shop. Now and there we used to make the panosa because he was always worried that he's taking too much, or maybe this guy can't really afford it, and this one, that one. His wife used to run the shop, and he used to tell her she must never take any money from anybody. They never really made any panosa. But in the end, they bought him a house like somewhere like this is in Vadin, not in Krakow, a city called Vadin. And he had a little sort of a house. A Greer came on to he was going to give money for the yeshiva, so the Chofetz Chaim made a cloud that anybody would give over a certain sum for the yeshiva, he would give him a yechidus. He would like receive him personally. So this guy, he gets a personal interview with the Chofetz Chaim. And as he's walking into the door of the house, he noticed that on a angle, there's this big tumor, like it's a big church, sort of just opposite a bit, but on an angle from the Chofetz Chaim's house. I said, it's a bit funny, what's doing it, So he says to the Chofetz Chaim, after he agreed with him about the money and everything, he said, Rebbe, he said, in Yiddish, et otzlishi ken kafinim, epis was besser, zu wohnen. Couldn't find somewhere better to live. So Chofetz Chaim said, oh, Hashem, that's a good house. It's good place, you know, not far from the yeshiva. It's fine. They said about Mamish and Keg Neva is a cloister. He said just over, he said there's a cloister. So the Choftan said, a cloister? He said, cloister? He said, what's cloister? What cloister? In other words, he lived there for several years, but he never saw it. He didn't even know that. And this guy told him he was there, was by my huge fiddle. The cloister, he never knew it was there. Yeah, that's what we get from Ayid and Petra too, that he knew the whole time.
חיים, אבו בלב של חיים, שעקסים, עקסים את לילה,
I have to go. Anyway, great to have you back.
Thank you.